Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. Today's topic is system concept. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to explain the operation involved in information processing cycle. There are 4 operations involved in information processing cycle, which are input, process, output, and storage. Before we go details into information processing cycle, let's discuss what is computer. Based on this definition, we can see that computer is an electronic device that takes some data as input, process it according to given instruction, and give informations as output, which can be stored temporarily or permanently for future use. In other words, computer is electronic machine which convert data into information. Based on definition of computer just now, we can see that computer involve 4 basic information processing cycle activities, which is input, process, output, and storage. Please take a note what is the definition of each activities involved in this information processing cycle. Input means entering data into the computer, while process is performing operation on the data or transforming data into information. Output is presenting the result or is referred to the data that has been processed into a useful form. And storage is activities of saving the data programmed for output for future use, or it's also referred to the location in which data, instruction, and information are held for future use. This is another definition of information processing cycle activities. Input is the data which is entered or captured electronically for processing, while process is the data that is being manipulated or transformed into information. Output is the information which has been processed that is produced in a usable form by people. And storage is the process to keep data, information, and programs in computer process form. This is an example of question that we're going to use to discuss information processing cycle. Please read the question properly. Mak Melah is shopping at Sukaria Mall and she buy 15 items such as sugar, flour, 14 of milk, eggs, and so on. When she have finished, she go to cashier to pay the item she want to buy. Now, let's detail out what is input. In information processing cycle, input is entering data into the computer. So, how to explain input based on given question? The answer is the number of item purchased and amount received are entered electronically for processing. Now, let's detail out what is process. Just now, we know that number of item purchased and amount received are entered electronically. So, what will happen after all data are entered? In information processing cycle, process is performing operation on the data or transforming data into information. So, how to explain process based on given question? Your answer should be calculate the amount have to pay or total up price for each item. Now, let's detail out what is output. In information processing cycle, output means presenting the result or data that has been processed into a useful form. If we recall to the question given, we can explain that output is display the price and item on monitor or print the receipt. Now, let's detail out what is storage. In information processing cycle, storage is saving data, program, or output for future use. Or it's also referred to location in which data, instruction, and information are held for future use. Based on given question, we can explain storage activity as stored amount paid for future use or stored enter item and price for future inventory use. As conclusion, this is the diagram of information processing cycle as what we just discussed earlier. Please make sure that you can draw this diagram properly. And also, you can explain what is the definition of each activities involved in information processing cycle.